This is pretty exceptional here, I think. What do you reckon? It's a bit close, so the neighbour was a little bit concerned.
I really need to rest my wrist and pay really attention to it.
I really don't feel like leaving this place in a hurry at all. We've really made the best decision in terms of where to spend the summer. This is just magic here. So things could be a lot worse.
This is it! We arrived in Meganisi and we are super excited because we find, I think, the perfect spot. Luke is diving to the anchor to see if it's well set, and in any case he said that it was all good, so for that I'm super happy. I think we're gonna stay here for a couple of days because I really want to rest. As you can see, it's not doing better, so I think I really need to rest my wrist and pay really attention to it because I did a lot of effort when I went to shore and pulled the lines. My God, on one hand I'm so happy it's not on the camera, but on the other hand you should have seen that because that was really funny. I think we entertained all the boats around. Our neighbors were not really happy because at some point we were a bit close to them, but we were handling the situation perfectly well. Anyway, I'm really happy we did it, and I can't wait to explore this island of Meganisi.
So the anchor is exceptionally well set in a bit of mud, which we know our mantis anchor loves mud. So the neighbour was a little bit concerned that we either cross chain or our anchor might foul his anchor. The truth is, we're certainly not crossing chain. We're probably at a distance of about 4 meters from one another, so it's a bit close, but frankly, we're tied in here so nicely, we're not going anywhere. This is pretty exceptional here, I think. What do you reckon? So we're here now in Theranos Bay, coming to the end of our first day here, anchored up and tied onto the shore with the shorelines. Honestly, we haven't done a lot today. We've swum around the boat a handful of times, we had some lunch, we checked on the lines, sent the drone up. It's kind of about it. I know that tomorrow is my editing day and the start of our work week, but today we haven't done a great deal, and I got to admit, sitting here, kicking back, looking at the view and doing nothing, you sort of reflect on all of the work and the crises and the craziness that's gone on board to get to this point. Admittedly, this boat and anchorages don't seem to go hand in hand particularly well, mainly because we end up rolling about all around the place. This Ionian Sea and the Greek islands is a totally different animal to anything we've experienced. Sailing here is massively different for 2 main reasons. All of these islands give you so much protection, and you can tuck away easily into a quiet corner and have a sea that's like a pool. And frankly, even if we weren't in this bay, even if we were out in the channel between all the islands outside of this bay here, we would still have fairly flat sea. A sea that if it's shallow enough, we could drop anchor and spend the night very easily. That is so dramatically different to the majority of anchorages we've stayed in over the last 12 months. It's a pretty beautiful place, this. It really, really is. If you enjoy sailing and if you enjoy comfort as well, then this is kind of the ideal sailing ground because it is the perfect balance. The whole place is geared for sailing, right? So everywhere you look on land, there are chandleries, boat assistants, shops, electricians that are specialized in boats, plumbers that are specialized in boats. It's really, really geared for sailors. I really don't feel like leaving this place in a hurry at all. I think we've really made the best decision in terms of where to spend the summer.
Hey everyone, so it is day 2 here in the Bay of Atherinos in Meganese. I must say that this place is lovely and very protected, so we had a really good night's sleep. This morning I went for paddling. It's the first time of the season that I go on the sea and paddle, and it felt really great. Not super good for my wrist, but it's okay. I needed some workout. Here in this bay, we have a lot of wasp. We've discovered something really interesting. It's a repellent for the wasp, something very natural, and I must say that it works so well that I'm super happy. I have a tendency of attracting all the bugs, like mosquitoes, wasps, everything.
Australians!
And so it's a bit problematic. You should see my legs right now. I've been bitten by mosquitoes. It's terrible. But this morning especially, we had a lot of wasps. So I burned some coffee, and trust me or not, it works so well. So basically what I did is that I took some ground coffee. Don't take instant coffee because that one won't work. I put the coffee in something that won't burn, like foil for me, but you can use an ashtray or something like that. And then I just use a lighter to burn the coffee, and it works so well. Like, it smokes like, a cigarette, and it lasts long, and there's no terrible smell.
Admittedly, we've had some pretty bad days and pretty sleepless nights at anchor, but this is just magic here. So here we are, day 2 in the anchorage of Atherinos, in the northeast corner of Meganese. We were warned by a few people that there was a bit of gust coming through this afternoon from the northeast, which we're certainly protected from with this landmass that I'm looking at in front of me. But still, every now and then the gusts do come over and give us pause for reflection. So this is the first time actually that we've had lines ashore and had to deal with this sort of wind, so it is a bit of a test of the whole physics of the situation. So is there enough anchor chain out? Is everything set correctly? Are the lines an appropriate length? Is there enough elasticity in the lines? In theory, everything should be okay. I did dive on the anchor again today, and it is still very, very well set. At the end of the day, I've got faith in the Mantis anchor. We're now kicking back with some small snacks and a glass of Sicilian Chardonnay, so things could be a lot worse.
early risers are occasionally rewarded with a rare sighting of the Meganese deer. Careful now, I think she spotted us.
So that was pretty incredible. We just saw a deer in the scrub just behind us here, just casually eating away, very calm, just taking it easy. So now I'm taking Law to a place that I discovered yesterday afternoon when I finished editing the latest episode of this saga that we are producing each week for your viewing pleasure and our posterity. Anyway, so I'm taking Law to this cool little spot that I found, which looks great for a sunset, but it's a bit of a trek to get there, as you can probably see from the path that we're walking along. Oh dear.
That was so cool. They are the deers that we saw this morning, and they were so cute. Good morning everyone, so we are ready to leave here at Therinos, the Bay of Therinos. It is 8:30 in the morning and Luke would like to leave at 9, so I think we're pretty good. We've put the paddleboard on board, we removed all the lines that we put up there for the hammock for the halyard anyway. We put everything back in the aft cabin, in the storage cabin, and we started the wobble process as well. I know Luke still have to check the engine, but as soon as it is done I think we'll go. I just saw a mosquito passing, and as you know I am a magnet for the mosquitoes, so I'm a bit nervous right now. I think the plan today is to go to Kalamos, and we're gonna try first to go in a little bay and try to anchor over there. We've read that the holding is not the best, so if it doesn't work then we'll go to the Tonki in Kalamos, and we'll stay there probably for one night or two. Let's see how it goes. But so far so good. Luke is talking to the neighbors, Kiwis, and obviously he's really excited when he meets some people from Australia or New Zealand. So he's chatting a bit, and after that I think we'll go, so stay with us.
So we're underway again, and this time we're heading to Kalamos, like Law said. Very, very mountainous island that's famous for katabatic winds. Can't wait. But on the way there's a little island, a flat island called Formicula that Law is quite eager for us to visit. On Navali, looks okay. On Navionics, which I've got in front of me here, it looks pretty treacherous. The whole island is surrounded by the dots that represent rocks. So not sure. We'll get close and take a look, I think. But yeah, with our deep keel, I think I might resist the urge to go to such a remote, shorely island, but let's see, let's see. So in front of us here is actually the windward side of the island of Kalamos, and as you can see, it is a very tall mountainous island. So what happens is the prevailing wind hits this side in the afternoon and builds up what's called katabatic winds. And so the wind builds and hits the top of the mountain and then pours down the other side and hits anything on the other side with pretty solid gusts. Not constantly, but every now and then. So we're going to make sure our anchor is set nice and solidly before we go to bed tonight. So behind us is the island of Formicula, and there's only one boat in the little bay there, and it's a tourist boat, very beautiful sort of pirate boat style. And I don't think we're going to go in there because I think those guys know the terrain a little bit better than us, and just with our long keel it could be a little bit risky. But as you may have noticed, occasionally this does happen where we actually turn the engine off, and very, very fortunately we've positioned ourselves so the orientation of the wind today is now on the beam, and hopefully it should pass behind us and we should have this nice run up this corridor in front of me between Calamos and Kastos. So we're going to spend hopefully a couple of nights here in Calamos. We're going to try out an anchorage first and then try one of the town keys, and then after that we're just going to pop next door to Kastos and check out the anchorages that they have. So this is pretty nice and it's a very pleasant sail right now. What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Talia's happy.
And I'm happy as well. We have a wind speed of 7 knots and we are doing 4 knots of speed with Talia, so I think it's pretty good. And I think my Talia dance helped.
Your Talia dance?
Yeah.
You've got the hips out. As we get into the anchorage, Law heads to the bow to prep the anchor, and we work together to find the best spot to deploy our shorelines. A bit more wind here than I expected, so we may not go up there, huh? We may make a different decision. Let's see if we can get a bit of protection. And the wind has died down now. Let's just see. 3.4 knots, 3 knots of wind, it's very calm. Do you think you could find a place to chuck some lines over? So your idea is to jump in the water, right? It's just like I said, the windward side is going to be our starboard side, which is tricky. At least 20. Hold there. Okay, you tell me if it tensions. Do you want to go to land? Well, we made it. So this bay, which is virtually impossible to pronounce, so we'll put the name down below. It actually consists of 2 different bays. One on the right of me and one on the left, starboard and port. And there are about 6 other boats here in total, and I can see another one that's about to enter. We seem to be the only ones either brave enough or stupid enough to tie up to land. Everyone else is swinging on their anchors. So I hope that it's not a case of them knowing something that we don't. A lot of charter boats here, so I'd say that's not the case. But we seem pretty secure. The wind is ranging between 6 and 11 knots. Let's see what happens when these katabatic gusts come through, but for now we're okay. No doubt about it though, this place is absolutely gorgeous.
If you've made it this far and enjoy our videos, why not consider becoming a Patreon? More info in the description down below.
Okay, I think I got it. Gerolymionis. So Gerolymionis is a pretty interesting place. If you look around, there's olive trees everywhere. Directly above the bay, or behind me, are a bunch of abandoned houses. Now, back in 1953, there was a massive earthquake that ripped through here, and all of the houses kind of were left to ruin. So everyone uprooted and left the bay, which is a bit of a shame because these places would have had a magnificent view. So here behind me would have been the entrance to the house. You would enter, and this would have been the most old part of the house, I imagine, because for a vestibule, it's pretty interesting to have a fireplace there. I think that's pretty unusual. But then from there, you would have walked through here into the first floor of the house, which, as you can see, the floor has caved in, which would have been massive and just opening onto the most incredible view. See the olives still growing here. This would have been the industrial heartland of Kalamos. And the press over there to press all of the olives into oil. Incredible. There's still a big diesel engine down there to power it all, but I don't think it's been operational since the 50s. Bit of WD-40 will do the job right. Being a little bit off the beaten tourist track, Calamos and Kastos are locally known as the Forgotten Islands. We hope that you enjoyed this week's first glimpse of Calamos. Next week we'll visit the island's only town and then head over to Kastos for more anchorage fun. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this week's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new to Sailing Talia, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of our weekly episodes. Cheers, legends!